The new Sonic Movie 3 trailer just came out. Let's not waste any time in analyzing it. The trailer opens with Chow Garden being a cafe in Tokyo, Japan. We can see the Chow here are actually going to be Japanese mascots, which is a really cool use for them. Also, I know this isn't really new, but I love how they use the Knight's Chow here with the Somebody Amigo maracas and the hat. It's just so awesome. We can also see in the very next sequence that there are actual 2D artwork that's official Sonic the Hedgehog works that is used as the Chow Garden merchandise. I don't know if this is really anything that's really unique, but it is cool to see that we're seeing official material being used in this movie. Also, Pokemon is canon to the Sonic the Hedgehog universe. Pika Pika! The next major scene we need to pick up at is where Shadow is now in Tokyo and he's being surrounded by a bunch of police officers. And this scene is very reminiscent of what happened in Sonic Adventure 2. In Sonic Adventure 2, we saw Sonic being surrounded by a bunch of police officers and gun agents as he was taken to jail immediately afterwards. This time, Shadow finds himself in that position. Not long after, we see Gerald Robotnik in an orange jumpsuit staring at blueprints of what I believe is the Eclipse Cannon. And I think the orange jumpsuit is important here, and also this writing on the wall, is because I think this is exactly where he was in Prison Island. If you remember in Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic was in jail in Prison Island in the exact same prison that Gerald Robotnik was in. And we saw all of that writing on the walls detailing all sorts of strange information. This could be that exact same scene where we see Gerald kind of go through and figure out how he's going to take his revenge on the entire world. I guess the shorter way of saying that is Gerald Robotnik is definitely in Prison Island, and this is the writing we see on the wall. In the next scene, we see a EMP blast take place, and I think Shadow was probably the cause of it, considering it looks like it's going to be the exact same city we just saw him in earlier, being surrounded by the police officers, but also Sonic caused a similar EMP blast in the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie. This is likely a callback of sorts to that, but the roles are reversed, and this time it's actually Shadow doing it. The next big scene that I thought was important was Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails tied up on I'm thinking is Prison Island because Eggman and Gerald are working together and they're talking about their ultimate team up here. And we then see Shadow drop this black hole thing, and I'm probably totally wrong with this. It probably is something completely new and has nothing to do with it, but it reminded me a ton of the Sonic 06 like portals that showed up during the final moments of the game that would try to suck you in when you got close. I can't not see it once I made that realization, and I was like, wow. Sonic 06 love, man. I love to see it. Now, I'm thinking that this scene was probably pretty early on in the movie because right after that we see Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles go back to Tom and Maddie and ask for their assistance. Most of the trailers we've seen before, and even later on in this one, we've seen Tom and Maddie in these gun uniforms working as, I guess, gun agents. So I'm guessing that they're going to be doing that for most of the movie. Even in the Chow Garden sequence, we did see someone in a gun uniform, which I think is Tom. The next major scene we see is Dr. Eggman coming out of the sewer, reuniting with Shadow, Gerald, and Agent Stone. And I think this is pretty early on in the movie, just because Eggman is still wearing that old uniform that's really ratty. And they're also in the UK, so this movie will probably be a world travel movie. Now, why was Eggman coming out of the sewer? If I had to guess, it's probably where his lab, or one of his labs, are. Also, this is just an observation, but there's a lot of space between Dr. Eggman and Agent Stone, almost as if there could be another character who could fill in this potential spot here. But, I don't know, maybe I'm reaching. Next, we see this giant ship rise out of the ground, which I think is going to be powered by Shadow running around it constantly. That's how I see it kind of rising up out of the water anyway. And we also see Eggman in his game-accurate suit. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the trailer just because, I mean, oh my gosh, we've been waiting for this moment for so long for Eggman to be, like, canonically accurate, and we are here, and it looks fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. And Gerald, of course, is dripped out in the same wear that Eggman is, but of course, in a different color, being white. We see Gerald, Shadow, and Eggman on this ship as it slowly begins to ascend higher and higher into the sky, and in the very next scene, we see an amazing, most lore-accurate moment that I think everyone was anticipating. The moon is getting destroyed, cutting the moon in half, blowing the moon up. It's finally here. For those of you who are unfamiliar, this isn't a direct callback. I mean, you cannot get any closer. A direct callback to what happened in Sonic Adventure 2 with the Eclipse Cannon blowing up half the moon. This was a mere demonstration of its power that Eggman wanted to show the world. We then get some cool clips of Shadow and Maria together, and then we also see a parallel of Shadow going back to that pod that he was launched out of, but this time taking Maria's place, so I'm assuming, and this is not a hard assumption, but they're going back to the Space Colony Arc. It's the only possible way they could have accessed the Eclipse Cannon and yada yada yada. The next major scene we see here is Shadow flipping a gun while he's on a motorcycle into his hand. Dude, If this isn't Shadow the Hedgehog 2005, I don't know what is. And you can easily tell Jeff Fowler worked on this movie because he also worked on Shadow the Hedgehog 2005. The parallels here, I mean, it's going crazy. Okay, so aside from the super cool Sonic and Shadow fight and the look at the Eclipse Cannon, we see Agent Stone looking up as his clothes are completely dusted and dirty. And I think everyone is looking up at his Eclipse Cannon similar to how they were in Sonic Adventure 2. And I'm thinking here that perhaps Agent Stone was betrayed by Dr. Eggman, left aside because Eggman now has his family again. He has Gerald Robotnik, his grandfather. This could play a major role in the trajectory of this movie. Agent Stone could end up joining forces with Sonic and co. just because he also wouldn't want to get the world destroyed with him on it. It'd be different if he was off-world with Dr. Eggman, but this is not something he wants to witness. Following that, we see Sonic and Shadow fighting on this volcanic area, which looks like Mustafar from Star Wars. I'm sorry, I had to throw it in there. And then the trailer ends with Eggman seeing Santa, and this Santa looks to be Gerald Robotnik. But that covers everything you should probably know about the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 official trailer 2. What did you guys think about the trailer itself? Let me know in the comment section down below. Is there something that you wish you would have seen? Is there something that I missed? Is there something that you think is definitely going to be here but just hasn't been shown off yet? Let me know all of that and more in the comment section down below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to it, and let me know in the comment section down below that as well. On another note, I don't think this is going to be the last trailer just because they called it official trailer 2 as opposed to final trailer, so we might be getting another trailer maybe mid-December or probably when the movie releases. But with that being said, this is your boy Sonic signing out. Have a super blessed day, y'all.
Why are you playing that trash?